I'm just going to drop in here quickly because what I discovered as I was bringing in the various screen recordings I was doing for this tutorial was that the frame rates weren't lining up because I wasn't recording full screen. I just set different sizes for the different recordings, and what subsequently ended up happening was that when they were imported into DaVinci, the frame rates were different and the audio and the vision were out of sync. So I tried playing around with that and cutting the audio and moving it along, but it became quite a painful process. So what I ended up doing was opening a program called MPEG Streamclip, which is a free program. I imported those files into Streamclip and just exported them as MPEG-4s and at 30 frames per second. So ultimately, if you're looking at the source files for this, you'll notice that the last two screen recordings are actually MPEG-4s, and that's the reason they're MPEG-4s, is because I had to make sure that the vision and the audio were in sync. So that's something just to keep in the back of your mind. If you're doing multiple screen recordings, it's probably worth running them all through MPEG Streamclip and exporting them at 30 frames per second. Like the width that we want. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the top. So I'll just shrink that. Take us to the top. Now, we'll let our position keyframe in there. Go to the end. And down at the bottom, just need it to go to here. Line that up. Okay, there's our end. And yep, she's scrolling through nicely. Now we'll do the same with our next clip. This time. See if I can Control Z that. Yep. Now we'll try and bring it up uniformly. Okay. And this is a lot shorter than this particular screenshot. Keyframe in for the beginning, go to the end, and drop that in there. Something that is worth doing throughout any screen recordings is just changing the zoom position. So what I'll do is I'll just bring this back, okay, right to where the menu comes down. Okay. And just on this section here, and this is something you could do right throughout, is I'll just cut that there, and this is where I was just drawing the lines. cut that there. And now I'm going and talking about the inversion. So I'll cut that there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to increase the screen size and focus in on those points. Bring this down, just line that at the top. So what we'll have, just do a little cross dissolve on this. Once again, go to nodes, add a serial mode, right mouse click, add. Okay, so we've got that first one in. What I'll do is I'll just add another cut point here. And on this next section, just drag this across so that we focus on this area. And let's see how that looks. Add a serial mode, right mouse click, add an output. Okay, and that's where we're at. So what we can do, we'll see how we've got those both lined up. We can make that out coming out. And there we have. So that's just a little example of how just to zoom in on particular parts of a screen recording, and there we have it. Right, that is huge. That's quite a lot that we've done. Now we're ready to export our movie. As mentioned earlier, we can do a custom export. We can export for YouTube, Vimeo, Final Cut and Premiere. What I'm going to do here is just export for YouTube. I'm going to give it a, let's see, just call this YouTube export. Okay, that all looks pretty good. Just check the video here. 1280 by 720. I might sort of bring that back down here to sort of like a widescreen. So we get a widescreen effect here. And okay. So just go through your parameters there, and once you're ready, click add to render queue, and then you simply click start render. And I'll let that do that, and what you'll be watching is the end result. Thanks very much for having a look at this, and hope you get a lot of use out of DaVinci.